Peace, love, and black empowerment. Welcome back to Mile High News, family. This is episode 34. Yes. We here, we back for the live show. And as always, we appreciate everybody, our supporters, our donators, our people who help us with the, you know what I'm saying? We love and appreciate y'all. I just want to touch a little bit on Unity Community. We are getting in. We are making major strides. I want you guys to make sure that after all of this that we focus on unity. I want you guys to make sure that after all this we focus on building communities and we focus on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all we're going to have left. After all the smoke clears, after all the Black Lives Matter banners and going up and rah Kumbaya and we don't like the police and fuck 12 and all of that, we still going to have to go back to us and being us, fam. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get on my recent trip to Minnesota. We just went to Ground Zero a little while ago, being the family. And I just want to touch on, man, the camaraderie out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I put in a post earlier this week, you know, I'm over my brother-in-law's house, and you know, I just have people, you know, riding by, hitting me up with the fist all day, and you know what I'm saying? I love that, fam. I wanted to stay longer. You know what I'm saying? We were about 4 miles away from the CHOP. The little community that they barricaded themselves in out there in Minnesota, but they had everything blocked off, fam. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even get close. I wanted to get some footage for the fam, but we couldn't even get in. So once again, like I said, we appreciate y'all for y'all support, and make sure you guys tune in next week. We're gonna have our sister circle. And we're going to be getting it in, fam. You know, we're trying to make major strides here on Mile High News. We are going to be bringing some stuff from Africa here. I got my brother set up out of the Congo. And, you know, he's talking about some major stuff going down. You know, I'm trying to get him on a live. Like I said last week, the time difference is going to be whack, but I'm going to get him, fam. Because, you know, it's really time for us to start trying to find some allies, you know? Find some allies that look like us. And, you know, I hear a lot of people, you know, talking down on our people from the motherland. And a lot of people from the motherland, I hear talking down on us, too. But, you know, it's time. We actually need some help, man. In doing this and truly liberating our people, we're going to need some help. Because, obviously, we can't do it by ourselves. And, you know, I'm not trying to bring shame down on our people or nothing, but, you know, what it's going to take is so easy, but it's so hard for our people. You know what I'm saying? And like what I'm doing with Unity Community, we could have had this done tomorrow. And we could have been moving on to the next city and the next state, but our people don't believe in group economics. And everybody else does it but us. You know what I'm saying? And every other people that do that, they enrich themselves. And not just themselves, they enrich their whole people. And it's just something that we can't do, fam. So in the future, you know, we really need to focus on trying to do that. Because I can swear to y'all, nothing else is going to work. Nothing else is going to work to really help truly liberate our people until we figure out how to bring our money together for the embetterment of our people. You know what I'm saying? So we got a couple of things coming up from Mile High News. In the future, we're going to have a Hidden Colors 5. We're going to have that playing, and we're going to do commentary on that. We're going to be serving free food and non-alcoholic beverages to the people. You know what I'm saying? So you guys stay tuned and look out for that. But like I said, you know, Mile High News, we're trying to elevate because there's so much more that we need to do. You know, and we are doing a lot, and I give major props to everybody who was on it and who's doing it in their respectable cities and towns. But it's time to move this to the next level, family. You know what I'm saying? Like today, I was watching actually, Brother Sharif got me on it because he was talking about it, the Eyes on the Prize, and I was watching the Montgomery bus boycott with Sister Rosa Parks, and then people stayed out there for 381 days, family. You know what I'm saying? They were, you know, one sister said that she marched so long that, you know, she wore her shoes down to where there wasn't no sole. She said that it was just a covering and her feet up under. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they have the carpooling service, and you know they weren't putting their money into that business until it changed. And I really think that's what's going to help us change, because back then they had their own communities. They had their own places to run back to when they were trying to fight the system economically. So that's what we need too, family. So I want us to focus on that. And tonight we got everybody here, man. We got the whole crew here. So next up we got our sister Melly Queen, and she is representing the Queen's Corner. She's gonna let y'all know what's going on. So Sister Melly Queen, what you got out there?
Queen.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to the Queen's Corner. Now, first I would like to say, as always, salute to all Black media platforms that are speaking and spreading the truth. It's we at a critical time right now, family. I'm gonna keep saying support and donate to Unity Community. Salute to Brother Noble and his family and team. We need Black space. We want to be our first community. Then we want to be a number 2, number 3,
Right.
and so on and so on. And we gotta make conscious decisions on what we need to do. Because I'm just sitting back, just watching and working. And I see too many of us sitting on our hands not doing anything. But we complaining and crying. You have to be the change that you want to see. You can't sit back and think somebody's going to come dropping in your lap. We tired of the bullshit. But you can't be too tired because you ain't doing nothing. What are y'all going to do? It's too much frivolous, dumbass time being wasted. Too much about money being fucked off. Our babies being messed off. And we sitting back like it's like it's a little show circus playing for these monkeys. When are y'all gonna make a conscious decision that y'all tired? Our children, we keep looking to the future, telling them to have hopes for the future, and we ain't handing them nothing. Nothing. It's time for us to start supporting each other. We have to start making our money work for us. We taking care of everybody. And I'm not just talking about us over here in America. I'm talking about globally. We're going to have to stand together, come together, work together, so that we can make the changes that we want to see. It starts with you in that mirror. We got to heal ourselves, heal our children, our families and communities. Get back to our ancestral roots. Yeah, they made mistakes, but I'm telling you one thing, they stood on being Black. They stood on being African. They stood together. We got resources. We don't want to come together because we don't trust each other. Sound like something crazy. It's going to take us to save us, and I love y'all.
Love you too.
Time out for all that ignorance. We got so much work that we need to do, can be doing, and so we're going to do it. Don't be left behind and you want to run when the shit get crazy.
Melly. Yeah, we got to focus on what's going on, family. You know what I'm saying? I hope that, you know, out of all of this, and you know, the Rona didn't pop back up on us mysteriously. So you know what I'm saying? We gotta still stick to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We gotta still stick to tangibles. We gotta still stick to liberty, true liberty. You know what I'm saying, for our people, fam. So next up we got our brother Sharif, and he's gonna be talking about who is orchestrating the black-on-black violence. So brother Sharif.
All right. Worldwide right here.
So for the last week or so, man, since the beginning of July, there's been a rash of so-called black-on-black crimes, not just here in Denver, Colorado, but around the country. You look at cities like Chicago, New York, Atlanta. Even down in Atlanta, the governor down there declared a national emergency and got the National Guards patrolling the streets in Atlanta. So, you know, every week or so, you know, they're trying to divert and shift the conversation away from tangibles, away from reparations, away from holding these crooked ass white folks accountable that's slaughtering us on the police force and vigilante white folks, because it's all kind of brothers ending up hanging from trees in the back of Walmarts and stuff all over the country. And they trying to label these as suicides, but we know what time it is. You know, there's been reports of white vigilantes right here in Denver and Aurora, Colorado, shooting at black folks while they standing on the bus stop. So right now we seeing a white backlash to the, you know, progress or gains that we as black folks have made over the last month or so since this George Floyd situation that exposed the bare bones of white supremacy. Now we see people, corporations and government officials offering tangibles and stuff like that. But to switch the conversation from actual tangibles and reparations, they have to create this straw man, this false argument that there's so much black on black crime going on that you guys need to solve black on black crime first before we can even talk about dealing with tangibles and reparations. So it's like these people think that we can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Now let me ask you something. When America gets mad at Libya or Iraq or Afghanistan, they don't wait until it ain't no crime in America to go attack somebody else. They attack. Mass murder just happened yesterday. Some white boy went to the school, this hypothetically. And the president will start a war the next day. Yeah, and they'll look at you silly if you're talking about, well, what about white on white crime? we got to solve the white on white crime
Real talk, though.
first before we can defend ourselves against an enemy. Only people they teach to talk that silly ass shit is black folks. And we got to reject these straw man arguments, these diversionary ass arguments, man, to shift the blame back on the black community and say, well, we can't have Black Lives Matter until Black Lives start mattering to black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These Negroes that's out here pulling these capers in the street, man, a lot of these attacks is being orchestrated by white supremacy. Where they get the guns from, where they get the bullets from, where they get the motivation from to go kill another black person. It's all white supremacy. And these police agencies, CIA, FBI, DEA, Homeland Security, Army Intelligence, they got gang members. They got sleeper cell gang members in our community that when we start making some progress, they pay these niggas a couple of pennies or something to go around with a rusty gun and shoot babies and shoot indiscriminately in our hood. So we got to understand we at war. We in the middle of a counterintelligence program against our liberation, against reparations, against tangibles. So it's no accident, family, that all over the country on 4th of July weekend, we didn't have these spikes of so-called black-on-black shootings in major areas where black folks live. They are trying to change the subject, divert the subject as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? And just to segue into what some other people are going to be talking about here tonight is that a whole lot of different agendas is being brought up in the black, so-called Black Lives Matter agenda to weaken it, to water it down. They talking about all Black Lives Matter, you know, to bring trans and gay and the LGBT agenda into it. And if you look at the newspaper, the brother that was so-called bird watching in City Park, he ain't even gonna cooperate with the police to get the white woman charged. Right. He talking about he ain't gonna cooperate with the police to get the white woman charged. Brother, you gotta understand something. That woman didn't call, cause he's LGBT, you know. You know, ain't too many straight niggas in the park watching birds and stuff.
Homosexual.
I'm just saying. And I'm not down in our brothers and sisters who gay and homosexual, but I'm letting you know as a black LGBT person that these white LGBTs ain't for you. The woman in the park, she didn't say, I'm gonna call the police and tell them that an LGBT man is harassing me. She said, I'm gonna call the police and tell them a black African American is harassing me. Ooh, and then she got dramatic. He's threatening me. He's threatening me. And she choking the goddamn dog. The reason why the white folks was mad at the woman, not because she called the police on the black man, because she was choking the goddamn dog. That's what they want to see her go to jail about.
For the dog.
So, man, we cannot, you know, at this particular hour, family, we cannot be distracted with the bullshit. We cannot go off on these side arguments and all these roundabout arguments that don't have nothing to do with our liberation. People been violent since there's been people on the face of earth. And no matter how many rallies we have and thoughts and prayers we have, people are going to kill each other. But what we can do as a society is hold these Negroes. See, if we was holding these Negroes accountable for the death that they did in this community, they would stop. If you had a black, united security force, whatever you want to call it, militia, whatever. And you know, when these brothers and stuff start clowning on the street, you call them instead of the police. And we ain't gonna kill you when we show up, but we gonna beat your ass.
You're rough you up real good.
We're gonna beat your ass. You out there snatching ladies' purses, beating up on your baby's mama, abusing your kids, stealing from the community. We beat your ass. And you know, you go get some get right. And that's how other people do it in different societies. I done been out the country. I done been in parts of Mexico where ain't no police. The people is the police. They catch you out of order. They drag your ass in the town square. They pull your pants down to your ankles. And they beat your ass.
Right.
You know, and go tell you to sit your ass down someplace until you can act right. You know, so we need that type of system, man, in our society, man, where black men in our community is standing up. We taking responsibility for our community. And, you know, if we got to lay hands on brothers and sisters, we had the sisters lay hands on the sisters.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, if you out of order in the community, man, we need to chastise you and not the police. Because when we do it, we're going to do it from love. Just like when your mama and your grandmama used to say, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. You know, that's how we look at it, man. And, you know, we all of these men sitting up here, we didn't have to chastise brothers in the community before for doing wrong. We didn't call the police. If we had to slap them up or kick them in the backside to make them act right, that's what we did. We've all done that. Ain't that right?
That's right.
We've all done it. And we got to establish a code in the system where we can enforce our own laws and we ain't got to deal with them no more.
abolish
Exactly.
That's right, definitely, fam. And that's the whole thing. Like we're trying to do with Unity Community. You know what I'm saying? Like I put on the video before, I said before, have you noticed the kids and the people that came up out of the situations of a black community? You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, I don't know if y'all remember it here, a lot of y'all people is young, but here in Denver, we had a black community. We had it around the corner where, you know, it was, if your AT or Miss Whoopty Wham down the street saw you doing something, you get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring it back to that. You know what I'm saying? Because, and a lot of people can argue with this to me, a lot of our problems, especially with these little dudes killing each other, they ain't got no daddies.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, we had that you know, that OG that we looked up to. You know what I'm saying? That hey nigga, what's wrong with you? Sit your little ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And we need that so bad, fam, and people don't understand that how bad that's needed.
But nowadays, you got a lot of these, you know what I'm saying, effeminized men in the community. They wear skinny jeans and skirts and dresses, and these young kids don't respect that, man.
How can they?
They want to see
How can
a
they?
strong man in the community, and they not seeing it.
Yeah, people don't understand this toxic masculinity stuff. That's what I was raised off of, bro. My dad, you know what I'm saying, and I love him so much, and I miss him. I just lost him 4 months ago. But you know what I'm saying, he wasn't the type to come on here and let me give you a hug and you know let everything's better.
Time out. Don't sit in the corner.
Yeah, right.
It's a knockout.
Look, so my people watching this, you know that was my dad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My dad was the type of one, but he still showed you that love, and that's what we are missing from the community. Not only are we missing the community, but we're missing that kind of love in the community, and we need to bring that back, fam. I think it's the only way, honestly. So definitely, next up, we got our brother Che. Brother Jesse's going to be speaking to you about 2020 Tangibles Refresher. So, you know, we bring that here. So, brother Che.
All right, come on. Thank you, family. So, it's Tangibles 2020, family, the year of tangibles. A new decade, and this is the year that we get our tangibles. And this is so ironic that after George Floyd got killed, tangibles are starting to just
trend.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I want to refresh everybody on what Tangibles 2020 is all about, because there seems to be still confusion as to what it's about and who it pertains to. So, we have dubbed ourselves Foundational Black Americans. We are the descendants of slavery. Slavery is the institution that built this country. There would be no country, no economics, no wealth without slavery. So we descend from that. All of us in this room, all right? We all descend from that. And we are tired of being maligned, neglected by these politicians that we have been under the illusion that we put into office. Even though it's been the establishment the whole time, the white supremacist establishment that's put them in, that they have our best interests in mind, and we have more black politicians than ever, but yet our condition is not better in the past 50 years. We've been maligned, neglected by both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, and we're saying enough is enough of this, and we demanding our tangibles. You're not going to get us with symbolism. Everything. There's a meme that's floating around that says, what did Obama do for black people? Nothing. And I think we can all collectively say nothing, not to. But there is trolls on there that will try to argue you to death that he did something to benefit us. While Obama was in office, we were getting murdered like we get murdered now, and he was not doing nothing but passing more police, not reform laws, but continuing them with the excessive force and the lethal force and the murdering. So I wanted to talk about, after tangibles, this new police reform bill that just passed in Colorado.
Thank you, bro.
It is Senate Bill 217. And what it states is police officers in Colorado found to have acted in bad faith or without reasonable belief that what they did was lawful are on the hook for up to $25,000 out of their own money in a civil settlement rather than the city picking up the tab. See what's been happening, the city's been picking up the tab for all these murders by the DPD and APD and whatever other PD in this state. And enough is enough of it. They're gonna be held accountable for what they do, and if they have to come out of their pockets, so be it. And it's so ironic. Our tangibles gonna have to come out their pockets. See, majority of this country's wealth is in white hands, and they're gonna have to come off with it.
I commend Portis for that.
So there's more to this bill though, what it entails. Also, it bans chokeholds and body, and it mandates that they have their body cameras turned on at all times, and it punishes the officers who try to stop their colleagues from using excessive force. So they're getting punished for these chokeholds and these murders. The tasers, whatever lethal force, deadly force, and for its officers, deadly force against someone fleeing. See, I was fleeing in the case I caught in Arapahoe, and they threatened to kill me, guns drawn, everything. I should be dead right now, not even talking to y'all. But by the grace of something, I'm still here. So we holding these police accountable for what they do, and now the suburb known as Greenwood Village has passed a measure against this. Because they believe that their officers are always acting in good faith. Now, mind you, this is one of those.
Ain't no black people that live in there.
Exactly. This is one of those white affluent communities, gated communities, where if you are not pale, your kind is not wanted.
White privilege.
So they'll call. They have signs saying, beyond neighborhood watch. You know you're being watched as soon as you set foot in there. Yeah. And I've caught in several cases in that area, so
That's
I know firsthand.
the governor's order? Really?
Yeah, so that's what it is. So now they done passed this order to try to go against it. Their council and mayor saying that their officers act in good faith. All these murders by the thugs in blue, the race soldiers. The race soldiers. Their whole job is to kill us. That's their job. They're not a police officer. Their job is to hunt and kill us, black people.
Green Valley.
Yeah, Greenwood Village.
Greenwood Village.
That's
Live in Texas.
BTC.
Arapahoe County.
Yeah, Arapahoe. Yeah. So yeah, family, I want to bring that to our attention, and also, the Denver City Council ain't having no more meetings.
Yeah, you shut them down. Shut them down.
They talking about all their meetings are going to be virtual now.
And they can let whoever they want to in the virtual meeting.
Same thing in a row.
They doing that in real too? Got them shook. Yeah, so family, that's what's going on. So I hope that cleared up any confusion on to what the tangibles is all about. And we include the whole African diaspora and what's going on. But see, we've been neglecting ourselves in the process. I just want to let that know. Thank you.
That's
Right,
right. Right, fam. We gotta stick to our tangibles. We gotta stick to getting something for something. You know what I'm saying? When this election comes up in November, make sure you get something, fam. And here on Mile High News, we're not trying to tell people don't go vote. Of course you want to vote. Yeah, our ancestors fought, and I don't know about died for it. That's a whole other story. But, they ain't died for that shit. I don't care what nobody says. But yeah, if you're going to go to that poll and you're going to, spend your time taking it off of work or whatever you do on that Super Tuesday, make sure you get something out of it. If you don't, why are you voting? Why? And I ask this question every other 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why are you voting? and not why, what are you voting for? Why? What are you going to get out of it? If you can honestly ask yourself that question and you can answer it saying that, hey, I'm going to get something, then for sure, do it. And you know, Mile High News, this would be a whole different show if we had somebody on the record talking about, hey, I'm going to do something specifically for black people. I'm going to give them what they want, and I'm going to release these resources and tangibles to them. We be on Mile High News talking about, hey, vote for this person, but it's not there. It's not. Look at it and come get back with me and tell me if it is. I'll stand mistaken, you know?
You got your choice between a pedophile and a pervert. That's your choice.
He's a super pervert. Did you see the little video with the little girl? Touching on her.
No, he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Biden is the pedophile.
Yeah.
Trump, but they said he was
He's
trying
a
to get with
pedophile, too.
yeah, they said he was with a young girl too.
This the shit.
All of them always sick.
Yeah, he ain't got no limit.
Honestly, bro. So you know, we got to think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Satan or Lucifer.
Yeah.
Damn if he did.
Prove us wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yes, right. Definitely, next up we got our brother Ma Ray, and he is a regular here on our correspondence.
All right.
That's my brother Ma Ray.
Man, cool, really.
Right, he's gonna be speaking on being on code always for sure, and male defense system and the homosexual agenda they got going on. So brother Ma Ray, let's get it in. Hey, this Mile High News. This Mile High News.
Tell the truth,
Jaheim, could you throw me one of them opportunities?
I'm feeling a little agitated based upon the white supremacists, you know, what they're doing out here. So first of all, like I always start off, we are in a war. We're in a war, and we gotta act like that. These white supremacists, and I like to call them, by a scientific term, these caucasoids. These caucasoids. I mean, when we really look into the, I think everybody in this room is from the turf, is from some kind of a hood, and we've all had enemies. Man, we gotta really analyze who our enemies are, and we got an enemy right in our face who's been banging with us for 500 years. Actually 6,000 since they came out the cave. And we're gonna talk about this troglodyte and how this troglodyte acts. This troglodyte is a beast. He's a savage creature who's a pathological liar, hell bent on our destruction. Now this is the war that we are in. Which, you know, now we got smartphones and shit. You know, we get to have interracial sex with these, you know, troglodyte. Troglodyte, by the way, is a cave dweller. Motherfuckers that got lights coming out their hair and sicko perverts. This is who we fighting against, y'all. This is who we fighting against. And so,
Paint a picture.
Honestly, bro, you gotta admit, there are some sick people, bro.
Look what they did to Elijah McClain. They had the picture choking him and stuff, smiling.
Our enemy enjoys our death. They are infatuated. They get it's actually a sexual erection that happens from the death of black males, especially the black males. And this is why these bitch niggas, and I'm gonna call them niggas because that's what they are out here attacking black women and children. Pussies. Pussies.
Right.
The troglodyte. This caucasoid who is, once again, we are in a war. And so, and I'm gonna transition from that to protection of our neighborhoods and the black people in our communities, our mothers, our daughters, our children, our family members, and I'm from Park Hill, straight out of Park Hill, with my shirt say, straight from here is a turf, but I got a beef to pick. These niggas out here with the gang banging, niggas is killing each other. Nigga, that's caucasoid activity. That's what these caucasoids do. Niggas got the mentality of a goddamn European. Fuck that. Fuck that. Y'all gangbangers are so tough. Go bang against these caucasoids. Nigga, go bang against these caucasoids. Go do that. Don't go catch somebody look just like yourself and kill them. Make yourself seem like
Right.
like you're hard and tough.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
He stepped on his shoes in junior high 10 years ago.
Once again, that's cockazoid activity. That's punk bitch shit. Black men don't act like that. Black men protect they mothers, they fathers, they children, they community. Period.
It's an army.
That's right.
Period.
Period. Straight to the right.
And that gets me to
Here we go.
Homosexual.
yeah, these goddamn the
I
homosexuals.
If he knew.
These homosexuals. Now here we go with this Black Lives Matter bullshit. I don't know nobody who I fool with is like, man, Black Lives Matter. Nah, that Black Lives Matter shit is some George Soros, homosexual, transgender, alphabet community bullshit. So now they can usurp or hijack what the real issue is, which is what the brethren was talking about, which is tangibles. This brethren was over here talking about far as protecting our communities. This is the whole a way for them to shift the conversation away from what the hell we talking about.
Right.
And what we talking about is, first of all, protecting our families.
Black agenda, baby.
I don't give a shit about no goddamn Black Lives Matter homosexual bullshit. What I do care about is them changing these punk ass laws. The police need to be held accountable for them murdering and killing us. They need to be held accountable for that shit. And I'm gonna say this shit on some real shit. I'm gonna say it on some cold shit, but not really on some cold shit. Murder, death, kill, cockazoids, goddammit. Catch these niggas, reciprocity. Reciprocity is treat somebody the way they supposed to be treated. Fuck this shit, y'all. If they catch one of us, it's only fair meaning white, reciprocity, that theirs should be taken away as well. And these cockazoids is terrified of us. Not fucking around committee, is that what it's called? Not fucking around crew. Black peace to y'all. Black power to y'all up at Stone Mountain on the 4th of July.
Right.
That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. And at some point we're gonna have to figure this out.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'm gonna end by saying peace. Hotep to the gods and goddesses.
That's right.
Let's maintain, stay strong, and fight this goddamn cockazoid.
Hey, did you see the video? Did you see the video of the sister that got into it with the fat white boy walking out the door? And the white
he
boy,
beat him up. I mean, he tried to fight the
the
sister.
white boy jumped on the sister and started attacking the sister. And this little brother, half the size of the
I
white
did
boy,
see that.
ran up and put the spirit of Ogun down.
Gave him an 8-piece with 4
Beat him up
biscuits.
on the chair.
Yeah.
In the DMV or something.
We need to see more of that instead of niggas with their phone talking about, oh, that's wrong.
Oh, man, stop.
That's
Stop.
wrong.
Don't do that.
Stop doing
That's
that.
the
Call the
female.
police.
Hollering, wilding out.
Call
hollering,
police,
screaming.
son.
Just jump in,
World
feet
star
and fist
shit.
first.
That's right.
World
Yeah,
star shit.
and that's a part of code, family. You know what I'm saying? If you know, I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do to build community, but we have to build community in ourselves first. You know what I'm saying? Before that comes to that, you know what I'm saying? That means if you see somebody on the, you know what I'm saying, riding down the street and you see them getting done, jump into it.
Yeah.
You know, it's time for that. You know what I'm saying? It's time to quit being scared and let's go ahead and jump on into it. Because that'll teach the next one not to do it. Or that teach the next one that if you do it, hey, you're gonna bear the consequences. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. So you know what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. I talk a lot. I don't want to say down on my people, but I really want us to do more. But I am so proud of y'all of how much we've woken up. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people that still need to come on and get down with the real, but it's been an awakening here, fam. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm my wife got me to this astrology and doing all that. This is the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius means an awakening, the age of information. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of information coming towards us that a lot of us don't know what to do with, but a lot of us do, and we're getting it done. And we need to follow suit for those people who are. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to lead us into the future, family. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get a Kids Mile High News coming up. I'm working on that. That'll be in the works. Like Sekou says, I'm gonna work some here, I'm gonna work some there. So yeah, we're gonna get that going too, because you know we need to know about our kids too. You know what I'm saying? It's like our sister Melly Queen. Big props to the sister. She's got our Vanguards online.
Yes.
You know, she's teaching our kids about the next generation and how we're supposed to be. We need to, you know, stay focused on that, fam, because, you know, honestly, I don't want to give up on this generation, but, you know, it's a lot we got to get through to our family in this generation. But we can definitely teach the next generation about what's going on, because they see it. They're getting taught anyways, you know. So reinforce that teaching with more, you know. Reinforce that teaching with history, and that's what we want to do, and our sister Melly with the Vanguards Academy wants to do. So definitely. Next up, we got a new brother to Mile High News, our brother Keith X. Welcome, brother Keith X. And he is going to be. He's going to be speaking on Elijah McClain and the hidden agenda of the Rona pandemic. So, Brother Keith X, welcome, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank
Welcome to
you.
you.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to have an audience. Because there's a lot of information, a lot of misinformation, and the form, the platform that you brothers do is to form the misinformed. That is a very needed thing in the community. Elijah McClain, I'm gonna say rest in peace.
Right.
My heart goes out to his family. I said it when they killed that brother in Minnesota, and I say it now for Elijah. His spirit lives on through us and our actions, and sometimes when we don't know what to do, he will come to us in different ways. It might through a conversation we take for granted. It might be just talking to somebody to console them concerning and giving them the right information, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like I said, I was privy to go to some rallies conducted and sponsored and organized by Candace Bailey. I give her accolades and acknowledgement for her work and energy, because it takes money and it takes time to take that away from your family, to give that to somebody else's family, to console them, to show the community cares and love the fact, even though I didn't know Elijah in person, but I knew his family through living here in Park Hill. But my point is that a lot of people, a percentage of administrators that's in Aurora municipal building administration, I've been dealing with these people for over 20-something years now. And a lot of these people are there to placate. They're there just to see, to measure. That's their job, to measure out this situation. And one of the things that I've noticed, and this is a history narrative that I'm finna give. I don't knock nobody's religion. I don't knock whatever you want to worship. You want to worship a stick, that's your business. But the point I'm making with this Christianity, you have Methodist, Pentecostal, Baptist, Lutheran. These are splinter groups. And what I mean by splinter groups, all these denominations was thought out by Europeans. There is not one Asiatic hand involved in none of these religions. And what they do is, and I even go to my grandmother, my auntie, they can only believe that the government is trying to kill them with these different chemicals in the water, these different drugs they give your grandparent, whatever to take. A pharmaceutical company is selling them legalized poison, and there's always something out there that we misunderstand, and in dealing with this. And they only can believe maybe 40% or 50%. And that's because of the genealogy, the time frame, everything that our people went through. It's very hard for them to understand that the government is really this diabolical. And the reason why that's a major point is because the powers that be, like breaking it down to Red Ear and Aurora, they only can believe so much. So the administration in these different organizations are counting on that. They're counting on that to use that against the people in order to keep us divided. Because when we talk about mass movement like they did in Stone Mountain, Georgia, down in what was it, Atlanta, that was in Stone Mountain, and
KKK.
our people, some of our people can only believe a certain percentage of it. We need our people to come on board 100%. We need our people to listen to us and do the research. If things are cloudy, misunderstood, then we need to teach our people. We need to educate the seeds, educate our young people so they will not fall into the same trap that some of us did. There's brothers in prison that's never getting out that fell into the trap. They have learned. The only way we can reach them or they reach us is through mail or through email now. That's the only way. Their life has been put on hold or probably been taken from them. You can die a physical death, you can die a mental death. So we need to keep that from happening to the youth. And these powers that be right in our community, they're sizing us up. Let's don't make no mistake about that. They're sizing us up every day. Just like we at war, they're at war too. They're not making this into it's gonna be a happy ending like in a movie. They're playing for blood. It should be obvious they're playing for blood. And a lot of people, some people, it's kind of hard for them to perceive, well, how come the police is able to gun us down like this? How come they're able to get away with this? We are civilly dead in the eyes of the law. And what that means is, for one step of that, to bring about an understanding, we as Asiatic people do not study the law. When you study the law, when you study the European education system and then get a good education from our system, we have professors, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have people that you can go to. It's kind of hard and few here in Colorado, but there is Asiatic people that has degrees in the same thing you taught in school. They have the antidote. They have the other side of our true history. And when you learn that, the understanding that you will get out of an education coming from your own understanding, from your own people, is that you had this information and you had the spirit of the knowledge already inside of you. That's all we were supposed to do with each other, is to waken this up in each other. This is what we did all through when we was in Africa, tribal. When one tribe went to another tribe, it was to wake the other tribe up, to bring the jewels, to bring the content of what we needed to study, of what we need to keep humanity strong and keep it vibrant. This has been disconnected now. So we got so many different narratives from the truth. So when things like this happen, we come together. We come together at someone's death. We should come together at all times. This right now, the pandemic, I don't know if people is looking at this or not, but the pandemic, one of the things that God put the pandemic here, he didn't put it here per se, but he knew the works of the devil. He allowed that to happen to give us time to come together, to bring about a unity piece that's been missing in our lives for so long. This is time for us to reflect on what's going on. The brother just said a few minutes ago that there's been so many random acts of violence amongst ourselves in the community, more so than it always have been. Those are people that are confused and out of control. And they was already never had no organization of their lives, had no understanding of their lives before this pandemic happened. Now when it happened, they really lost for words, and it's very hard for them to come in out the rain, so to speak, and try to understand what we're saying right here. Because if your mind is cloudy, if your heart is polluted, it's very hard for any spiritual understanding, spiritual intellect to get into that. It's very hard, almost impossible. So we have to come together and understand what is going on. All these brothers and sisters being killed. You would think it would stop after all the attention that has been placed on these killings and these murders. I mean, this man died in front of the whole world. He just didn't die in front of Minnesota. He didn't just die in front of a nation. He died in front of the whole world. That right there to me, that tells me that there's a serious message in that. This is the time, an opportune time for us to come together. If we never ever tasted what unity is, what coming together feels like, it look like, we need to find it at all costs, putting our pride to the side, putting all kind of different petty beefs to the side, and come together and lay down all things that's not constructive. Because we're going to die at the hands of our oppressor. That's what's going to continue to happen. And we never know who might perish next. Might be our sister, might be our aunt, might be our brother.
Might be me or you.
Exactly. So we need to understand, we have to understand what these administrators here in our community are doing. They're placating us. I've been dealing with these people for over 20-some years. They know the measure. They write their history down. When one empire falls, they got the history records to understand what made that fall, so it won't fall again. They want to keep this going on. They know their time is up. They know that. And the only reason why God has not striking this down, because he's given us the opportunity to come out the hole, to come out this nonsense. Stop taking on their habits, their lifestyles, and their education system, and keep giving that to your kids. Learn to understand different things Minister Farrakhan is saying, regardless if you like this man or not. Some of the things he say is beyond reproach. Right. You can't do nothing but stop and listen. Even if you disagree with the whole understanding of the Nation of Islam, it's certain things this man has said that is the bare truth, the bare unadulterated truth. I was also going to touch on, I think I touched on Elijah, I touched on the pandemic, and yeah.
Right on. All right. Come on now.
I'll say something real quick, family. And I wanted to say, talk about this, but I mean, maybe next week or, man, they gonna come out this vaccine, family. And they trying to kill us.
Right.
Farrakhan talked about that in that speech on the floor.
We've been telling people on My High News, you better stay away from them vaccines.
Yeah.
If and when they mandate it, that is an official sign of war against black people. I just wanted to show that.
We've been having official signs. To tell y'all the truth.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what
right.
I'm saying?
You're right.
These,
You're right.
And I remember I was asked a question a little while ago, and the brother asked me, like, man, if they wanted to kill everybody, every black person in America, and they start doing one by one, when would we know to get to start to defend ourselves and start to start fighting back? How many is going to have to die until we really start a war back with them? and it's looking like millions. It's looking like millions because we are dying every day by the hands of them. If not every day, at least every week. So we really need to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people have different answers and different stuff about what's going on with that. And you know, mine is really just to separate, fam. You know, separate from them. They bring the drama to you, then you handle it. You know what I'm saying? But we can sit here and fight a war. That's cool. But you know. Our brother Jason Black, Professor Black Truth, he's always said, like, how you going to go to war if you don't even make your own bullets? You know what I'm saying? So we got hands, we got this and we got that, but not trying to give no props to them or nothing like that, but that's why we have been in such you know, bondage by them. You know, we're under the most powerful military in the world, fam. You know what I'm saying? So if it does finally have to come to it to where we have to go to battle, at least let's do it from our own base. You can't fight a war without your own base, fam. Their base, our base is within their limits. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always stress, build your own. And then, if they bring it to you, hey, let's go to war, fight, die, do what we can do. But you can't fight no war from no person that pretty much supplies you with your...
Living in gentrified neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that one.
Definitely. So next up, we got our brother Chapman, and he is going to be speaking about the Black Code. Brother Chapman. He's back. He's back again, man.
Yeah, first of all, the first Black Code is, I'm hurt. I'm hurting from my heart. I'm sitting at this table with all these gentlemen, my colleagues. We all hurting right now. And sometimes, like, we really think about what we need to do. And it ain't no suicidal mission. Ain't nobody scared. Is it the only way we're going to calm this hurt down? Is be front and center, 10 toes down on everything that we do. This right here, this is a collective right here. A collective of strong black men, and the 98% of these strong black men, we sitting here all over the country. So if you're watching this, Mile High News, make sure y'all donate to Mile High News. Make sure y'all communicate with Mile High News so we can know how y'all feeling in y'all city and what y'all solutions are. Just like to bounce on that with Melly Queen, it's like we got to do something now. In Denver, Colorado, this message is going out to everybody that hear me in Denver, Colorado, Melbourne, Florida, Chicago, Dallas, Compton, all the family that I know. We have to protect our kids, just like my man was saying. Point blank. Ain't no 13-year-old boys or girls walking out the house with the earphones in their ear, and you can't. And grandma say, "Hey, you forgot your backpack," but they can't hear a word. All that's got to go. All the headphones on the kids, all that. Even if they buy the headphones, you take the headphones. Everything on these phones right here, it's got to be reckoned with. You're going to have to escort them. You're going to have direct contact when they leave the house, when they get down the street, where they at, when they leaving where they at, when they get right down the street, and when they on the front porch. All the kids, everybody got phones. It's time for dialing up Cardi B and that bum rap music and all that bullshit. Them days is over. That shit is over. I mean, just like point blank. There's more things in life to listen to on the phone. Just like Melon Queen was talking about. She got the Vanguard Academy. Shit, sit down with the kids. Like my man said, this is a perfect opportunity to sit down with the kids and look it up on the phone. Everything's on the phone. We got My man here with Financial Juneteenth with Dr. Boyce Watkins. He's got a hell of a curriculum. Kids can be stockbrokers, financial entrepreneurs, whatever they decide they want to be, right here on the phone. Not sitting on the porch, listening to some damn mumble rap. How you gonna do something to a little girl and how you gonna do something to a little boy and all that little bullshit. Like my man said, we've been living our lives like this for the last 40 years. We didn't start this shit yesterday on George Floyd. We've been living our life on this for the last 30, 40 years, and I'm 58 years old, and I'm done with it. So with that being said, it's like in Denver, based off what I seen last night, and I conferred with my man about it, we have resources in Denver, Colorado. My brother Jeff, runs the Brother Jeff Cultural Cafe, he's launching a sit-down with results. It's over 20 resources from gangs to school to the Boy Scouts. It's a variety of Ma and Pa organizations here in Denver, from Denver to the Five Points to Park Hill to Mount Bello to Aurora. Black owned, black operated. It's time for us to get the tangibles. It's time for us to get them results. Just like Brother Jeff said. He's like, oh, Brother Jeff Culture Cafe, oh, we don't need their money. There's some groups that do need their money. But when I'm running my business, what? As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, we take our money out of our business and we give it back to our community on hot dog sales, on a little peace rally in front of the business. It's like, that's what we all need to do. We need to launch that consciousness to let these young folks know that go down there and talk to the button man. Go down there and talk to Sekou over there at the garden. You can run down the street to Red Shield. You can go up there to the YMCA. If you see Sharif on the street, talk to Sharif. That's how I got to be who I am. The men in our lives were very important people. And we get on that black privilege next week. But with that being said, make sure we educate these kids on these phones and get them off this little Facebook and Instagram and all that little bullshit. TikTok.
Unless you're on My High News.
Right. Yeah. Dancing and all that shit on TikTok. I ain't seen nobody on this fake Instabook or Facegram or whatever the fuck it is, right? ain't nobody been on this talking about no educated black stuff. I mean, they in there dancing with threes and mirrors and shaking their ass, and little girls shaking their ass, and the Cardi B's and shit. The industry ain't stepped up to the game to try to say, okay, let's sit down for a minute. Piggyback off my man and what I've been saying. Hey, this is the perfect opportunity to grab that one and sit him down and say, hey, you can look under Financial Juneteenth with Dr. Boyce. You can look up Melly Queen with the Vanguard Academy. You can look up Michael Pharaoh. You can look up African Diaspora. You can look up the Nation of Islam. You can look up the New Black Panther Party. And then with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club.
Yes. Coming soon, we're going to have a lot of info coming to y'all. We got the Denver chapter started with our brother Eric Russell. And we're going to be getting it in, fans, so stay tuned for that, too.
Yeah, and with that being said, just I got my man Charles Watkins here in Denver on Facebook. You might know him, but he does the concealed weapon training courses and all that. So the wheels is turning. All we got to do is tighten up the spokes. It's like we surround ourselves with like-minded people. Like my man said, we at fucking war. And when they marched up on the KKK in Atlanta, Brother Noble said, he said, damn, Chap, I'm gonna be the first one they try to get. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to make a shield, a bulletproof Kevlar on a motherfucking wheelchair with the motherfucking rifle sticking through the hole, and I'm gonna be the first one to get shot for the motherfucking revolution. Because I'm telling you, it's like, I'm right here in Park Hill, it's ground fucking zero, and it's like, we done with all the gang banging. all the bullshit. If you need to come to people that's conscious about what's going on, you get with Brother Jeff, you get with Sharif, and I ain't clout chasing. I'm up here at the Holly every day. You want to join this posse? You want to be a part of this survival, stay alive crew? We got some solutions right here in Denver. And it starts with Brother Jeff on the 20 resources.
Mile High News.
Mile High News.
We here.
It's the only reason, that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is here is that we're a part of this collective, and I want to make sure that the Mile High News get all their credit. And I missed the first calling on me being hurt, right? My first calling is on behalf of Mile High News and all my colleagues. I want to give my condolences to all the black folks, and I can't call out all their names. In Colorado in the last, 4 days, been 8 people. We are here at Mile High News. Want to give condolences to all the family and friends and relatives, and let you know that it's got to stop. And all the people all over the world, all the African and black people all over the world. It's like my man said, we have to be conscious because God said this is the perfect opportunity for us to be peaceful and get the nature of our fathers, our sons, our daughters, our cousins, everyone that's on the same roof. Everybody under the same roof. Ain't no Cardi B, ain't no mumble rap, ain't no this little bullshit and that other little bullshit. Or let's go ride on somebody because they beat up my cousin last week. It's like, you can come to the Button Man shop and we can do the conflict resolution in Denver. Thanks to the Mile High City News, they give me a platform. Just like Melly Queen said, we got some resolve all over the country, in every city. There's resources. And if we have to tap in through Mile High News, y'all make sure y'all contact Mile High News, donate, make sure y'all correspond so we can know what y'all doing that's helping y'all city out. All the bullshit is over. We ain't surrounding ourselves with bullshit. It's time to separate from bullshit black folks. And I ain't gonna say the C word, but what you said was? What you say? Crackazoid.
Crackers. That's my word. I'm using the verse. Don't try to take it. That's my word. Don't try to take my word, y'all.
Right. So
You heard it right
with that being said, like power to the people.
Yes, sir.
Y'all stay tuned, stay informed, and bounce black.
That's
Bounce
right.
black.
That's right, definitely.
All right, all right. JC in the house.
Next up, we got our brother Shabaka. He's in Panther Town, Oakland, California. He's going to be speaking on the COVID in California and the gay agenda by the Black Lives Matter. So, brother Shabaka.
Thank you, Brother Nova. Yeah, this is Shabaka Sam Carter. I'm the producer, executive producer of Shabaka's Black Experience at Handsome Blog Talk Radio, the West Coast correspondent for Mile High News. And thank you, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Okay, the COVID situation in California is on the increase. Governor Gavin Newsom with his sorry ass, has put the state back on lockdown. I just crossed the San Francisco Bay. I'm over here in Silicon Valley. And then they put one of our colleagues on a 90-day 30-day lockdown. So I'll go over here to Menlo Park and will tell them fuck you to their face. You know I will because I've done it before. Now, this Black Lives Matter shit that I saw when I did my live feed this morning, man, for Peace Coffee, I'm seeing BLM up there with the goddamn Rainbow Coalition, man, of this gay shit. Fuck that. Okay, we are men, men love women, women are women, and women love men, okay? So we got to get our children about these goddamn public indoctrination centers, you see what I'm saying, and start coming up to code. And I appreciate, all what the brothers is laying down right there. I'm quite familiar, man, with Red Shield there in Denver, Colorado. I'm a former USA amateur boxing coach, and you had a former world heavyweight contender who I was familiar with from Denver, Colorado, by the name of Ryan Lyle, and I'm also familiar with Colorado's first black world champion, and I'll be mentioning him in the future. But what it is, black family, they're trying to put this agenda down our throat right here, man, you know, on this gay shit. You know, they may go fuck themselves, you know. Well, actually, they do that themselves already. So we got to take care of our babies. We got to bring our children up to code. And then, as brother was saying right there, man, for the last 40 years with this mumble, grumble, rap and all this old stupid shit, the only thing I made is kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, and all this old type of bullshit, man, because we're not nobody's niggas, you know what I'm saying? Late for these goddamn cockadoids, you see what I'm saying? I'm right in the middle of Silicon Valley. You should see all this goddamn wealth that they got up here, man, new fancy-ass apartments, new fancy-ass buildings. They rebuilt the whole goddamn skyline over there in San Francisco. And then more than 6% of the homeless population that I see here in Oakland are black people. And then I'm seeing our men standing out here, man, fucked up on the street, standing around here living in tents and all that old type of shit. No, that's got to change, black family. We got to come on cold. You know, get with my high dudes. Get with your father's black thing. And all you gentlemen are welcome to call in, man, on the platform, man, you know, the next time we go on air live. We tried to do last 2 shows that we did. We had to scrub them because we had some coon-ass motherfucker talking about hating on black women and all that. And I was about 1 inch off of beating his ass, okay? And that's real talk. We're not going to do that type of shit. You feel me? And then on top of that there, too, is that the COVID crisis has picked up a little bit here in California, you know, it's because they closed down all the bars and all the restaurants again. Gavin Newsom did that, but it's very, very interesting of how Tesla is making money. It's very, very interesting of how the people who work for Tesla over there in Alameda County are saying that they were not following, you know, the COVID rules and regulations and had a lot of them people exposed to the virus. So what's his name? Elon Musk over there, he went on there and fired a lot of those people. You see what I mean? It's because they was going to mention about the COVID situation and happening up over there. California does have a task force out here, man, for this COVID shit. They're going out here writing tickets and what have you, but it's just an excuse to put us in jail, because what is the homeless population going to do out here? They don't have no place to go, man. They can't afford these damn masks, and then these motherfuckers is out here making more money off of the mask. And then on top of it, too, Black Lives Matter. You know, they don't want us in there, man. They don't want straight black men and Black Lives Matter. Because I'm checking out this bullshit. George Soros, you know, finances this shit. They want to go out here and talk about these Goody Bird transgender motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The life comes between the union of man and women. Not 2 men fucking each other in the ass, okay? Excuse me, ladies, you know, excuse my language. I'm in a little riled up mood this evening. But fuck this bullshit. Fuck Silicon Valley. I'm right here at your goddamn motherfucking front door. Want to send a goddamn police department over here where I'm at? The hell I'm at? Fine. And fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then also, too, what they did to the brother in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That was murder. You're going to sit up there and say, well, the police were just doing their duty and all that. No, these is race soldiers. These motherfuckers are left over from the goddamn slave catchers. Read your goddamn U.S. Supreme Court decision in the Dred Scott case. You were never meant to be a citizen of this motherfucker. And then on top of it, when they sit up there and says, well, you got the 13th, 14th, or 15th Amendment guy, Black family, I got a question. When in the fuck did we as the people go out here and petition the United States to be citizens? Brother Che is right. You know what I'm saying? We need some goddamn tangibles, and fuck all these black-ass politicians except General Sekou, because General Sekou is real. I hope you hear this part of it. Fuck all these black-ass motherfucking cool. I mean, we gotta get up here, we gotta get along with all races and all that. Motherfucker, don't you realize, man, that when you say that you don't see color, that color sees your black ass? Don't you realize that there, black family? When you sit up there and say, I don't see color, they sure the fuck see you. You see, so we have to treat it as such. We got to have a code. We got to start smashing some of these motherfuckers that's going out here disrespecting our women and our children. We got to go out here and start smashing some of these motherfuckers that's going out here disrespecting the community with this bullshit, with this self-destructive behavior. And then you get around your Latino friends and white friends and all that, using that NGR term. Hey, black family, I'm not nobody's nigga. And neither are you. Shabaka's Sankor from Mile High News, West Coast correspondent. Also, too, I will be bringing in another gentleman out the PMW who will be our, with your permission, Brother Noble, who will be our Pacific Northwest correspondent. I did approach the brother about it. He's very, very interested. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love Mile High News, and we love Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And also, too, check out our group page, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, and definitely check out our group page and like it, too, as well, too, for Resurrection of the Mental Dead, because that's what we need, Black family. We need a resurrection of the mental dead. And all these jack-legged, pumping, pimp-ass motherfuckers, they need to be held accountable as well, too, because they're more interested in a collection plate. Now, I'm not speaking against nobody's faith, but they're more interested in a collection plate and how much money they bringing in, the suits they wear, the cars they drive, and then all the women that they can fuck in the congregation. You see what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers got to be stepped to about that as well, too. So we got a lot of work to do, Black family. We got some solid people right here at Mile High News. Brother Noble, Brother Bukhari, the St. Louis correspondent right there, you know, and I want to commend him on his research that what he did on Google. Now, keep in mind, too, people, that Google
Sorrow. Be out there in a couple of months, too.
Yes, sir. Now, Google is getting ready to buy Treasure Island. Get this here, family. I just crossed the Bay Bridge the other day. They developing Treasure Island, which is that point where the midpoint that used to be in the Bay Bridge that they used to call Treasure Island used to be an old military installation, but Google is buying it. They turned it into the Google campus. Fuck Google. Fuck Facebook. And I'm right here at your goddamn motherfucking front door, man. You all can pinpoint me on this motherfucker, and I will tell you to kiss my goddamn ass. As I'm standing out here in the parking lot, you should see this goddamn wealth out here. And our people are out here fucked up.
Right on.
Up to us, Black family, donate to Unity Community. It's a beautiful thing that Brother Noble's got going on there. And I'm going to try my damnedest there, too, people, to get with you there in Denver, because I finally just got back to work. So I'm coming up out of this rock I was up under, you know what I'm saying, due to the COVID. So it looks like things is turning positive to me. So most definitely, man, before that snow hits there, man, the first day of Halloween, I believe. And then I hope to be touching bases there with y'all.
All right. All right. Right on. Thank you, Brother Shabaka, for sure.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. All right, so yeah, that's right, fam. We got to stay focused on what we're trying to do. That's right.
Do let me say this. Hey, do let me say this here, Brother Noble. We did a show on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on these vaccines. I'm not taking no goddamn vaccine. I went and had my temperature checked about 5 times last week. I'm at 98.5, man. I ain't got no goddamn COVID. Don't take them motherfucking vaccines and don't let them babies take that shit. It's a death trap.
All right.
Motherfucker Bill Gates take that shit, that ragged ass bitch you.
That's right.
Go and check that shit. You know?
All right, yeah, that's right. All right, Brother Shabaka.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's right. So next up, we got our brother Sekou with Sekou's Corner.
Yeah.
Brother Sekou.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. All right. Boy, it sounds like we got church this evening. This is some wonderful, wonderful testimony with evidence. Testimony with evidence. That's what we bring. We're bringing word, we're bringing fact, and I like it like that. I like it like that. What I want to do tonight is I want to talk about commitment. Commitment. Commitment works like a breakfast with champions, steak and eggs. And when you look at that breakfast being prepared, the chicken dropped the egg on the plate, and the cow put his ass on the plate. The commitment was putting your ass on the plate. And so what are we really committed to? What you gonna put your ass on the plate for? Because you can say your face, and you have a choice to say your ass, but you gotta pick. See, you got to pick. Which one? Because you can't get both. And so there's a price you got to pay. And so the choices that I choose to make is to free my ass from the bullshit so I have a better idea and pride about who I am. See, I can change me inside quicker through action than I can think about an action that's going to make me better. I got to get busy on me because I know me. And one of the things Malcolm talked about, when you talk about revolution and you're talking about revolutionary change, it's an inside-out job. It's an inside-out job. See, when you're working with this consciousness thing. And the truth is, I don't know about nobody else, but I was born a coon. I was born a coon. And I didn't get like this overnight. It was a process of struggle and living and going through it, and truth separates lies. See?
Truth.
And so the key became, how am I going to apply the truth and then be about it myself as I go about doing things? And one of that on the code thing was word is bond. If I say I'm going to do a thing, I got to do it. See? So you got to be very careful what comes out your mouth. See, that's what my grandfather used to tell me. And so you got to think about it before you speak on it, because you're going to have to do it. Otherwise, you tear down your own self-esteem to self. And then can't nobody believe nothing that you're talking about, so there's no trust involved. See? But if I do what I say I'm going to do, and you best be believing that's going to happen, then you got something to work with on the trust.
Word is bond, baby.
You got to work with, so you got to work with that. And so that's not no new idea. That was part, and still is part, of our culture of who we are. We're bigger than a color. We're a culture. We have a code of conduct. We have culture and music and theater and hip hop and all of that dance and all of that painting pictures. Woo-de-woo-de-wah, great orators can talk out, you know what I'm saying, talk to sun blind. See? With a good conversation. All right? But you got to transform all of that into something what you were talking about tonight that's tangible. All right? That you can present as evidence about who you are. Now, I'm not a perfect man. I'm not. And I'm still in the process of revolutionary change. Because I do things and I say things that I can't take back. But it's out there. You know what I mean? So when it's brought back to me, I got to own up to it and say, hey man, you know, I said that. I apologize because that wasn't right to say. And bone up on the truth. You know what I'm saying? And acknowledge when I'm wrong.
Right.
Period. And I don't have to acknowledge when I'm right. It speaks for itself. And this has been a long time coming. And it's been a process. And history does not repeat itself. This one ain't nothing like the one in the 1960s, 70s, 80s. This ain't even close, Jack. This generation today is less tolerant than our generation was. See? And my parents' generation was less tolerant than theirs.
Yep.
See? Because one of the contradictions we have as a people is that we are too tolerant of bullshit that we know needs to be checked. And we go along with the program, hoping, praying, and thinking that maybe, just maybe one day, we're going to be somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe one day the white people will have some feelings.
For real.
But we
For
already,
real.
we
For
already
real. That's real talk. And see, we constantly over and over and over again do the same thing that don't work. You cannot appeal to the conscience of a man or woman that ain't got no conscience.
Insanity.
that's committed to killing you.
Savage. Right.
See?
Yeah.
That's like offering a rapist on accommodation a rubber so he can fuck you so you don't get your ass infected.
With holes in it, though.
And that's going along with the program. Who would do that? Here you are getting ready to rape and you want everybody to say, will you please Jimmy up first? I mean, come on, man.
No Vaseline.
They ain't got no conscience. What they understand is what they're getting. America was born and raised on violence.
Violence.
Wasn't nothing non-violent about the creation of this country?
Watch the gangs of New York.
Right.
I'm talking about
Powerful
for real.
movement, bro.
I'm talking real. And you gotta remember what you're dealing with.
Savages, bro.
The making
What are we dealing with? We're dealing with the forefathers who came here, who came on the boat, but they took them out of jail in Europe and put them on a boat and sent them over here.
Right.
We ain't talking about no folks
See?
that come from no royal family.
Right. See?
These were the most low-down folks that was in Europe. In Europe. See?
Facts.
And they come with a
Facts.
story that they was running from persecution and religious intolerance and
They hardcore.
But I just want to know one question. Why didn't you get committed to fighting against that in Europe?
Right.
See? You had an opportunity to get off the boat. You didn't have to go on the boat. You didn't fight not to get on the boat and go. You jumped on the boat voluntarily and brought it here so you can work out a deal on your prison sentence.
Yeah, that plague.
I'm just talking about who we dealing with. So you're dealing with a master con manipulator, and when it's all said and done, they're the sly, the slick, and the wicked.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Straight fact.
Now, I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it because being in America, you know what I'm saying? You can't pimp a pimp. You know what I'm saying? You can bring that bullshit if you want to, but I got something for your ass. You know what I'm saying? For real.
They the pimpest of pimpest.
Yeah, but guess what? I got something for you because guess what? See, you don't think you can get got. You don't think you can get
I
caught.
got cocky say.
You think you all of this in the bag of chips and guess what? Good. Because I know you.
Murder Inc.
You made me study you.
Give me
You
the
didn't
line.
think I was worthy of study. So you don't know me. So we need to quit telling them secrets about who we are.
Right.
You take away your strategic advantage.
They discovered everything, huh?
So here we go. We are presenting you with an outlook of shipbuilding. All right. We're on a boat that's got a hole in the bottom of it, and we on the bottom of the boat drowning. And they done locked the door, so we can't get out from the top, so we got to fix the hole right now. Which means that once you fix the hole, then the middle won't sink and the top of the boat won't sink. But the purpose of the exercise is to get out the bottom of the boat, and we got to get sucked out the hole, then go to the top, and then take care of all of that that's on top of us because we need a change in leadership here. We need a new captain on the mothership lollipop. Or we need to get out the boat and then let it sink. See? Let it sink. Because this is the law of physics. Listen. You got black people here. And everybody on top of us suppressing us. Everybody. Everybody. But as you raise up the bottom, so does the top. So what's good for black people is good for everybody in the world.
Fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it's always worked. Because you've always gotten more out of it than we did. All right? So now, this is what's happening with the paradigm shit of the youngsters now. This is what's happening with them. We're on the bottom, they're on the top. The bottom slides out, the bottom falls on top. Everything's but the country is broke now because we done slid out from under it.
Right.
See? And now it hit hard. And now everybody is broke, a one paycheck away from the showing up bankruptcy court.
From the
All right, and as
snowfall.
soon as they give you this other stimulus check,
And you
Jack,
spend on some
ain't
shoes
no
and shit.
more gonna be left, Jack.
Ain't buy no generator.
That's the story. That's the story. We're gonna be broke.
Yeah.
So that reparations, I'll tell you where we're gonna get the money from. All right, well now, here we go.
I know
Here we
what
go.
you're
Here we
doing.
go.
I know
Here's
what
where the down payment of the money is. The United States government, through the Bureau of Land Management, has over 230 million acres of fertile land.
Right.
And I'm talking about mountain forests, like Arapahoe County,
Right.
the park up there,
Rivers
national
and
forest.
streams.
That's there.
Rivers
That's
and
there.
streams, baby.
All right. Then you got all these plains and grasslands where they eating and
Runoff.
using the water for free to grow the cows and
Got the
things
runoff,
that
baby.
they paying them not to grow food on.
Yeah.
That's government land. All right. So it ain't like you ain't got it. All right. Now, all revolutions are fought over land, Jack. Period. If it ain't about no land, it ain't about nothing. So you have to have massive land reform in order for this to even begin to make any sense.
Reparations.
As a beginning.
Reparations.
You don't reform the ownership of the land, all right? Then you go back to being the same old, where you have a few people running things and everybody else is just occupying the land to bid the bidding of the pimp, of the master. See? And so if you ain't got your own land, if you're not fighting for land, what are you shooting each other over? I shoot you, you shoot me. What do we get out of that?
Mumble rap.
What do we get out of that? What do we get out of that? What do we get out of that?
Mumble rap.
I'm talking about for real. What do I get out of it tangible that I can use? But I get a chance to get a bail summon and a case.
My son likes mumble rap. Sorry.
All right. And so it's like, come on, y'all. We got to think our way through this. So here we go. Here we go. Listen. All right. For the folks that are for real about this, we know what's really going on. We said it before. What you got here is a ball of confusion and a lot of noise. That's what you got. That's what you got. All right. Now, in the process, as all of this is unraveling, right, you got folks that's being able to get their 5 minutes of fame and be on television or be on the internet, and you got a video and right? But now the conversation, though, is repetitive. Everybody talking about the same thing. Just bring it a different way. All right, just bring it a different way. So you already have inside of our community the most diverse people on the planet.
Right.
We got all the opinions of the world inside our own house. So anybody else want to come in, we already got that. So what we need you for?
That
See,
commitment, baby.
we got the whitest of white folks.
That commitment.
We got the Spanish of Spanish folks. We got black folks teach and speak Chinese. We're all over the world. There are over 2 billion African people all over the world, and we have made contributions to everybody's culture, and we know you better than you know us. Oh, yeah. So when we in the room and you running that Anglo Espanol, you don't know, boy. We got a brother here from the Dominican Republic that's in amongst us that speak better Spanish than you, Jack, so we know what you're saying.
Right.
See? So when you get slapped upside that head, you know what I'm saying? I think you're getting away with something. Be careful what you say, because we know, boy.
Shoot them up with a head.
We know. So check yourself for your wreck yourself, and your best bet, stay away from me. That's it. Just stay away from me, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you cross that line, it's on like popcorn, because we are through. The brother in New York who died with the foot on his neck was just 1 in a million. It wasn't about just him. We're going through that every day, and it's not even reported. See? So that wasn't a response to just him. That was a response about us and what we're going through. Not just here, but we're going through that all over the world. Wherever we at, we got to go through that. Including black folk who are police that's doing to black people in South Africa. Talk to me. So just because you change the texture and the color don't mean you quantitatively change the condition and made it better.
Right.
So here we go. And I'm going to close with this. You got 2 things that's going on that needs to be happening. All right. You got weeds in the garden. And there's some folks who gonna let the weeds grow so it chokes the vegetables. Or they just want to go and take the tops up off the dandelions so they can cook that Belita root there so it can grow again. Revolution requires you to dig it up, uproot the weeds. So you got to do that. Otherwise, it will continue to come back over and over and over again. So you got to uproot the weed. All right? And then you got to plant new seed. All right? You need a new idea about all of this. And there ain't but one thing that we got to change about ourselves, especially in the belly of this beast. Everything. We got to change everything about us, period, and upgrade that and make it better. If you're not willing to do that, and that's starting with you going inside of you and weeding out all that backward mess that you've been taught, there ain't no sense of talking about. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm still in a weeding process. Because I'm going to tell you right now, for real, there's a peckerwood in me, Jack, that wants to go heads up with the devil going straight to hell with gasoline draws on with a glass of water. Come on, let's go. I ain't running, I'm running to you, Jack. I will run straight to hell to go heads up with the devil, and let's just see how we can do it, boy. Because you ain't all that, really, because I ain't screwed. And what I got to lose? Because this life is not living. This is bullshit.
Thanks.
Right.
And that's all I got.
That's right. That's right, fam. So now I'm just gonna open it up to the family. I just wanted to say one of our watchers, brother Almin Assalam, he's saying, okay, he said, when they say I don't see color, it's code for saying I don't see you. When white people say all lives matter, if all lives matter, then why don't you stop killing us? I know that's right. He said, remember, they don't have shit over there in Europe. That's when they came over here. It's important to note historically that we had gold when they had dirt. I know that's right, brother.
They ain't got nothing over there.
And Jenny Atkinson said, uproot the weed. I know that's right. So now I'm just going to open it up to my brothers and sisters. Y'all want to holler at us? Definitely. I'll open it up for a few minutes. We'll start off with our sister, Melly Queen.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hold on, Melly. Hold on, let me put you up on the speaker.
Hey, that's when you got a couple of them napkins.
Yeah. All right, sis.
How y'all doing, family, now? I'm gonna tell y'all one thing we gotta work on in our communities are these snakes and fakes. Because it's gonna be like Haiti 1804 because y'all working against us. It's time for us to stop all these gangs, playing, educate our own children. We welcome you at the Vanguard Online Academy.
Right.
Y'all better understand and understand. They're about to get ready to open these schools back up, and it's not gonna be anything like it was. This world has changed, and we need to change with it. It's time out. This is our reset. Get up off your asses. It's time we need to do what we gotta do, man. I'm not understanding what y'all looking at, what y'all see. I need them glasses, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's crunch time, people. And I'm sick of it. I really am.
All right.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know,
We in it to win it.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And you know what? For real, there is no doubt in my mind that we ain't gonna win this one. See, this is the one we're gonna close it out on.
Right.
This is it, Jack. We ain't waiting no more for another generation to go through this, period. So old school and new school got to come together and close the generation gap. I got to get with you to understand who you are and where you're at with stuff. You got to get with me so I can give you some wisdom, understanding, and strategic moves that you can make so that you don't end up having a premature death on an emotional tip because you just went off. All right? So now it's crucial that we get together and form a united black front that is committed to the end game of our total liberation, the overthrow of our enemies, and our unity that will allow us to be builders so that we can rebuild this nation, rebuild the city, rebuild the world,
Right.
so that all of this was not just an exercise of madness.
Right.
See, this has got to be, where is going to be the gladness? Where is the end game?
Commitment to that new black code.
For real.
Commitment to the black code.
For real. So we're on our way, and we're going to do it anyway. Anyway, so there's a lot of approaches that have always historically been on the table, where we talked about separation. We talked about going back home to Africa and do Africa. We talked about integration. We talked about infiltration. All right? And the truth is, we're going to have to do all of that and turn those things into weapons of liberation. For instance, separate, good. Go get your land, go do what you do, create for yourself, protect that. No more Oklahoma cities in Tulsa. You got to protect it now because you know they're coming. Because it's going to be prosperous. And they're going to be jealous about it, especially when the times are bad. That was the history of those settlements. That was the history of our towns. So we've always been towns. So we built another one right here in Colorado called Walsenburg to let you know even in the worst of times, we can still do it.
Right.
We can still do it. Ain't nothing new about that.
Community,
So separation is one of the means and ways that we can achieve our goal. And all that's down for that, go do that. See, ain't no sense in player hate. You don't want to do that? Cool. Do what you do. If your thing is integration and you want to go get you a white girl or a white boy, boom. Good. Good. Do that. That's another form of committing genocide on their motherfucking ass. So when the baby come out, hey, it ain't going to be no white girl or no white boy.
Right.
It's going to be one of us, and we're the only one tolerant enough to accept that. See? Because we don't play that light-skinned, dark-skinned nigga shit no more. You got one drop of black blood, and you're committed to the liberation of your people, then come on. Come on home, and we're going to work with you and work out all of those contradictions because you had no choice in that baby boy or baby girl. You just got caught up on a midnight run or whatever that was all about. So if that's what you're going to do that. But be excellent in it. At least knock the cracker up.
Right.
So we get a replacement troop and probably mad about it. It will be more energetic and commitment to working toward the liberation of our people.
That's their word.
So we can work with it. We can work with it. You know what I'm saying? We can work with it. Infiltration, you got to be strong. A lot of people ain't gonna understand what you're doing, and to be successful, you can't tell nobody because they'll snitch you out and it won't work. So, you want to change the police? Then become one. Go to the academy and then do the work. So when they do bust out and somebody's on a brother's neck, you be there to shoot the cop.
Right.
To get him up off of him.
Right.
See? But if you're not there, how would you know which ones to shoot? And then you know who they are. They get up in the locker room and put nooses in their locker and all of that. You know
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they up there putting cameras in the women's bathroom, the freak dog. You know what I'm saying? You know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Take care of that. And you know how to do it. You're a trained killer. So why not start from the inside out and take care of the enemy that's out to kill you and your people? You have to go inside and do that. So when you talk about defunding or getting rid of the police, who gonna do it if they don't do it? Who wanna be the police? That's a fucked up job, Jack. Especially in America, you get to see the most base deeds of humanity ever seen. And then you gotta go home with that every night, and there's no guarantee when you go to work in the morning you're coming back alive. Who wants that job for $30,000 a year? Are you kidding me? For real? We'd be better off just giving folks $30,000 worth of guns and tell them to check yourself at the point of contact.
Right.
So Whatever you decide that you're not, that you're against, I want to know, what are you for? See? Because you're going to get more out of what you're for and more motivated for that than against, because feelings against, folks, dissipate. Like having a bad love affair. You was mad about it for a while until you saw her 2 months ago and boy, was she looking good. All of that anger and resentment went out the door, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Or the same thing with the sister do with the brother. You know what I'm saying? So you gave the function just on emotion and feeling. All there are is early warning signals that things are working well or things are not working so well. See?
That's right.
And so with that, yes, some of us need to go back home.
Right.
When they took us out of Africa, they took the best. For real. We're talking skilled labor. We're talking about scholars. We're talking about folks who could build things and were architects and did pyramids. They were outstanding when it came to farming and feeding themselves. At one point, they called Ethiopia the breadbasket of the world. We was beating everybody. And we had international trade going on amongst ourselves and other nation states outside the continent. So we know how to do that. We know how to do that. And when you talk about going back to Africa, you talk to them over there, they don't want to talk to no Peckerwood. They don't trust them based on what they've been experienced.
Right.
And so they're looking for the brothers and sisters to come from the belly of the beast who learned about the stock market, who knows about currency. And that's not to say they don't know about none of that, but we have something that they don't have. We have a pool of money that makes us, if we added up the money just we was getting out of these 50 states, Jack, we are one of the richest
1.6 trillion
people in the world that ain't got no land. So you know if we got some land, ain't no sense of talking about it. So we go back home and we're gonna get some gold mines. And then we set up Bobo's jewelry shop over here and sell that shit to all these folks who want to shoot each other every day. You know what I'm saying? We're on the bang bang, bling bling, whatever that is. So we got gold, diamonds, all of that. So then we create our own industry of international trade by working together without exploiting one another. I'm talking about, hey man, I ain't talking about you going over there and getting no tablecloths called kente cloth, you know what I'm saying, for 10 cents a yard, and coming over here and selling it for $50 a yard. No. And then you don't share it with them over there? Right. And then you know what you're getting ready to do over there, but you go over there trying to get something for nothing and then trying to be a capitalist pig at the same time and exploiting your own people, using our culture. Come on, man. Come on. Come on now. Come on. You know what I'm saying? But we need to put these Indians out of the business of making dashikis that ain't for real.
Yes.
Ain't even real print. Imitation shit.
Right.
So there's some things that we got to do to come together on our own. But it's like, how do you take what we're doing and making it work better? And use the experience to uplift our people and not destroy our people. And so it becomes real clear, everybody that's got guns, that ain't shooting the enemy, you're giving guns a bad name, boy. I'm talking about, you be better off walking around throwing spitwires.
Hey, let me speak on that. I seen something on Facebook the other day. Brothers, they was back in the backwoods. I don't know if they was in Tennessee, Arkansas, or where, but it's like they was trying to show the young ladies how to shoot the gun, but they didn't have the proper hand grip. The gun would pop back, almost got shot in the forehead. And then they got the AK, and instead of doing one round at a time, make sure they got the gun placed in their shoulder, they just give them the gun and say, well, pull the trigger so you can get a feel of it. I don't know. So with that being said, there's an alert out on the Huey Newton Gun Club.
All right.
There's an alert out. It's about to go national, just like my man Turner said here on Mile High News. So with that being said, all that out here turning shit sideways with the Steven Seagal shit, you got your little baby out here, you teaching her how to shoot a gun, but you ain't even had the proper training to know how to even load the damn gun.
Right. So it has to be organized, man. It has to be scientifically organized so that you're effective with it and it doesn't become something that's self-destructive to yourself and others.
Right.
Gun controls means you can hit what you're shooting at. And if you can't do that, then you need to put the gun down and learn how to use it first. That's like driving without no instruction behind the wheel, son. But you got to understand the rules and the regs in order for this thing to make some sense. You know, and that's what we're seeking now, and we're moving in the right direction. All right, it just don't look like it's moving as fast, and not that symbolic stuff. You know, not that symbolic.
Live. Oh, we still live. All right, put this back on.
Yeah, close it on out.
I'm gonna close it on.
You still good, my brothers? Yep.
Here, I'm gonna do it up close.
Oh, okay.
All right, fam. Thank you for joining our live show. You know, we gonna get it in, and we appreciate y'all feedback. We appreciate the love from you. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we love y'all, fam. You know what I'm saying? We're here for y'all, trying to holler at y'all. Thank you to our subscribers and our viewers and our supporters from the Unity. We really appreciate it, family, and we getting it. We getting it. If you don't believe us, just watch. We got some stuff coming for y'all. You ain't gonna believe. So we love y'all. Peace, love, and black empowerment. We will see you next week. It's our sister circle. So we're gonna get our sisters back in here. We love when the sisters are here as always. Peace.